Why, hello everybody, and welcome to Weekly Patronage. There's my game. Sorry, it's a Monday. And every once in a while, even the game needs to wake up for a moment. Hi everyone, and welcome. If you are new here to this channel, I am here to help you through Patron Challenges, as it is Monday at noon, and new challenges have begun. And we do a couple variants along the way. Who am I? I'm Lauren. I'm the content coordinator. I also create, but I'm the content coordinator here at Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, and I need more coffee. Hi chat, how you doing? I saw everybody waiting for the code, which I appreciate, because hey, you know, Electrum chests. I got it there too. I got it there. If you're wondering why the code is named that. Well, I mean, might I remind you? Might I remind you of this awesomeness? How can I not? I have Orkira in my final Dungeon Master formation because, like a lot of people, I was working on getting as many Dungeon Master chests as possible before the reset happened today at noon, and so this is my final formation, just kind of ambling along, having some fun. Hi, everybody. So I would love to know, as I pull my game over here, I finally managed to get my Dungeon Master pretty nicely geared. How'd you all do this weekend? I would love to know if you managed to get Dungeon Master fully geared out. If you were working on one of the other champions that was there, that's cool too. Let us know in the chat. We've got the absolutely wonderful Mars in our chat today, who is going to be grabbing questions from the chat to put them into our little backstage document over here, because every once in a while I'm trying to make a formation to make things work and I'm not looking at the chat. And it's sad when I can't look at chat. It is. It's sad. But we've got Mars here who will be grabbing those questions and putting them back there. So put question in big capital letters before your question. If you've got questions about the game, about patrons, about Fluffy Orkira, because look at Fluffy Orkira, there she is. She's so cute. It's adorable cute. Somewhere in the back of my head, Orkira is very unhappy right now, but I think she's adorable. Anyway, if you have any questions, go ahead and put those in chat, and I will get to those as soon as I am done drinking. I'm done drinking. Hi. Oh, it's a Garwar raid. Hi, Garwar and the Yarwars and all the raiding. How's it going? Welcome. We're here to take care of some patron challenges. So last week we did a whole bunch of the regular just challenge. We're taking care of a whole bunch of these weekly challenges. And we're going to do that again today. But we're going to start with something we were doing for a little while, which is we're going to actually do a patron variant today. What's a patron variant? It's a thing that makes me really, really stressed, because usually on this show, our goal is to come up with the formations that we can use to get as many of these challenges done as possible. But in order to really get a bunch of things done with your patrons, if you want to start getting some of these perks, you have to do patron challenges. And what are those? Well, we're going to try to finish some of the adventure variants and get the important things done there. Why is that harder than doing the free plays? Well, in the free plays, you can kind of have a non-optimal formation and still get by, which is kind of my jam, especially on Mondays when you are trying to do a lot of these patron challenges. We just put you in a free play and we try to get a bunch of stuff done. It's like, is this optimized? Nah, but will it work for us? Absolutely. You can't get away with that when you're doing an adventure variant with a patron. You gotta actually put together a formation. So I see Lurking Riders already voting for Strahd. Bayushi Ukari is subscribing. Thank you very much for the subscription. May you enjoy the emotes. Hey. So yes, I think while we chat and while I catch up with chat, let's get our first poll going so that the chat can decide who of these 4 patrons are we going to do an adventure variant for. Now, of course, this will be slightly more difficult than some of the free plays that we've done in the past, to give you an idea of where we are, because the reason we do this is so that you can earn influence, so that you can unlock some of these perks. Mert, I've mostly got there. I'm trying to earn for Silvery Gates, which is why I haven't spent any on those 2. Vajra, we're getting there. We've got a couple up here that we're still working on. Strahd, we have a few. Strahd is hard. And Zariel, we're also working on. We've got a couple more. I've been kind of focusing on no trial left undone so I can try to get some more trials done. But let's make our champions with a max strength be more effective. So anyway, whatever patron you decide on, I'm going to go ahead and try to find a patron variant, an adventure variant that we can do. and get some more of these perks unlocked. Meanwhile, while y'all are voting on stuff, let's see what the chat has had to say. Let's see. Yeah, I saw that the Lurking Writer was already voting for Strahd. Now remember, if we do Strahd for an adventure variant, Strahd has the least number of champions available. Whew. Astelar1 says, only actually got the second epic on Cridle, but was the one I wanted most, the charismatic leader one. Ah, there you go. So, still some epics you gotta get, but you got the one that you wanted. Nice. Let's see. I'm just looking through to see how... Possible Cabbage did always watching for Vajra over the weekend. Did not have fun with that. I mean, it's challenging, right? It's super challenging. It's the kind of fun... I am not an Elden Ring player. I did play the very first Dark Souls. It was hard. I am not a person who likes... I don't mind challenging. I don't mind hard. But that style of combat was not my jam. But I did finish the first Dark Souls. So I've been enjoying watching other people play Elden Ring. Because once again, that kind of combat, not my jam. But it looks like a really pretty awesome game. And there is something really satisfying about doing something that is difficult and achieving it. Or, you know, working on something and then coming back to it and getting it done. So yeah, it's one of those things where as soon as you start it, it can be frustrating and hard. But it's so satisfying when you get it done. It's so good. Looks like Strahd is one because y'all love me. Don't you want to use Orkira in a formation? Come on. It's fine. It's fine. Work on Strahd first. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to take a look. We'll take a brief look at Strahd's challenges. Although in this case, since we're going to be working on an adventure variant, I'm not necessarily going to be as tied to what's going on here in the weekly challenges because some of these and optimal formations are just not going to gel. For example, I'm probably going to have someone other than Delina as my highest total damage dealer. Sorry, that's just the way it's going to work. All right, let's see what we can find. Let us finish this adventure. And let's find something we can do. So come here, Strahd. So there's a bunch of stuff in Grand Tour that I haven't done yet, but that's because I've kind of skipped forward. I was trying to get stuff, especially in like Baldur's Gate and Icewind Dale and some of the really difficult stuff. I've got some Dragon Heist. I've got some Tomb. Strahd, I've got stuff all over the place for. All right, we're not going to do a poll. Sorry, I saw It Is Chris saying, the goal now is to hope DM unlocks Orkira every time. Absolutely. Always unlock Orkira. Okay, chat. Not going to do a poll. Just going to do kind of the informal while you're talking amongst yourselves. What campaign should we look for an adventure variant on? A fallen angel. Thank you. I know. I love this code because I love my fluffy owlbear, my owlbear girl. There she is. Anyway, what campaign should we go for? Let's see. Mars is already talking about Witchlight. We can go for a Witchlight. Let's see. The Lurking Writer says, get Strahd out of the way first so you can spend more time on the patrons that allow Orkira. Okay, that's a way of thinking about it. I'm seeing a lot of Witchlight. So I guess let's wild beyond the Witchlight. This is the first couple I saw. So let's find ourselves an adventure variant that sounds like fun. Nightmare Rats. Burning. So we've got Squidly and Jenks in the formation. Burning Rats appear in each area. They don't drop any gold, nor do they count towards quest progress. I'm less concerned about the dropping of gold than the quest progress because my gold find is already pretty high, and we've got potions we can throw in there. All right, so we've lost 2 slots, and we got Burning Rats, and then an unexpected Geist. One Spectre appears in each wave. They drop no gold, nor they count towards quest progress. When they are killed, they respawn in the same location for 5 seconds, and they move fast. Nat joins the formation. Enemies move a lot faster, deal a lot more damage, and there's not as much gold find. You know what? Let's rat it up. It's only 350. Which I say, and I feel like I've just summoned fate to say, oh really, only 350? Let's give it a try. Here we go. Let's start this up. So for those of you who haven't done a lot of Patron Challenges yet, or any of the Patron variants, these get hard. Uh-oh. Oh no, game. Oh no, game. Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me? Okay, we'll be back in a second. I just have to restart my game. My game heard me challenging fate, saying, hey, only to 350? Yeah. Why don't we just not do this at all? Yeah, I know. Warlock DBA says foreshadowing. This is Strahd trying to stop us from coming. Well, no, it's, yeah, kind of Strahd. All right, here we go. We are back. Sorry, Orkira. Okay, we're going to stick out a whole bunch of familiars, and let's get this party started. So for those who have not done an adventure variant yet, it is not only harder in the regular game, but then when you add the patron stuff on top of that, which in this case is only champions with an intelligence score of 13 or higher can be used, because Strahd only wants those who have an intelligence, which is 5. He cannot use Orkira. Sorry, Orkira. Oh, it's so hard. Okay, let's see who we've got and who we want to stick in there. I mean, Celise is a pretty good tank. Averin is really strong for our buffin. We can get Tyrell in there if we need. Birdsong is one of my go-to DPS. Birdsong is always appreciated. Hitch would be good here. We've got Frida. Frida's also a really good DPS. And if I go with Frida, I can get Makos or Lazaps. So there's some options. We can fool around with Dungeon Master. Or we can get Shandy in here, or we can get Alindra in here. I mean, let's save Dungeon Master for another time. Let's think about Shandy, but we might also go Alindra. Ooh, Quillic is good. I would normally go Baloth, but there's not really going to be an ideal place to put Baloth, because I'm not going to make him a tank, and then he buffs the people in front of him behind him, and you can't put him... Squidly and Jinx are there. So, Baloth is not going to be helpful here. Now, if we do Farida, Mahen could be fun. Whittle is always useful. We could put in Belushi if we need more tanky tanks. We could do Talon. I mean, Cthulhu could be fun, but I think we've got some ideas here. So I think... those are going to be our 2 tanks. We want you to wild shape because Tyrell, be our tank. Be our tank. I'm not going to sing anymore because it's going to get us in trouble. Okay, chat. Once again, not a poll question, just an informal. I'm going to look over here at you and ask, who's our DPS? Are we going for Farida? Are we going for Birdsong? Either of them are going to work. Either of them I think I can make work. Who do we want for our DPS? Little Kittens is watching while eating over some baked chips. Ooh, nice. We've got a Farida, we've got a Birdsong. I mean, Birdsong is cool. I mean, both of them are cool. They're just cool for different reasons. We had a lot of Birdsong at first, and then we had a lot of Farida coming up. Burby. You know what? Here's what we're gonna do. I'm seeing it kind of split, which is totally understandable. I mean, it's Freedom Birdsong. How do you choose? Let's take a quick look at what the challenges are for the rest of the patrons, and if we need either Birdsong or Farida in those places, that might help us figure things out. So, all right. Yeah, Possible Cabbage says Farida's basic skin is like the coolest looking champion. Yeah, I mean, Farida is awesome. I have her in her Shadowfell skin because, you know, the Shadowfell. It's the core to the Raven Queen. So let's see. Mert is gonna want Barrowin, Binwin, and Puent, Ishii. Okay, Vajra is gonna want Brunner, Dristan, Calliope, a healer. I'm just kind of quickly looking through, are there specific champions that these folks want? Jarlaxle, tanking, Ark and Mako's. Okay, so this is not helping us at all. This has not helped us. You know what? Let me just count. What we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 there, and 1, 2, 3, 4. I see more for Birdsong by a tiny amount, so we'll go for Birdsong. We're gonna have Birdsong be our main DPS. Thank you, everybody, for helping. And yeah, I could fool around with feats and trying to get more people on with the feats. I could fool around with Dungeon Master and try to pull somebody on in, but I think we've got enough champions and we're not going so high that I think we can do this. So Birdsong is lawful neutral, so we are going to increase the Song of Battle for neutral champions. Then let's get Averin in here as a buffer. And is there anyone we want instead of Farida? Maybe. So we're gonna go neutral. We're gonna go soloist, because that's our jam. I'm gonna go Widow, because I mean both Whittle and Shandy are gonna be good for both buffing and for make things go fast. But I think Whittle is not as Whittle can't be in as many patrons as Shandy can. And you know what? If we got Averin in there, then we should have Whittle in there. That is only fair. Now, we're going to do that. I could stick Alindra in there now, and I could try to buff all of them, except I can't get Alindra next to our DPS. Because she portents the adjacent people. Birdsong is dexterous. Yeah, she buffs adjacencies, and I can't get her adjacent right now. Well, and I can't do that for Quillic either. All right, so this might become Viconia. How many more slots have we got? We've only got 3 left. There are only 3. This might be Caddy Bree now. Cron DPS. I mean, maybe, but I've got some other options. Neutral spec, left spec, Birdsong DPS. We can get Corazon in, turning the whole formation neutral. Her Song of Battle affects everyone, which is a nice little... That is true. That is true. He might do that. Remind me again, how does he make people neutral? I think that's one of the specializations, because that's all champions adjacent to Corazon, but I believe one of his specializations. Honorary crewmate's ability now affects all non-adjacent champions instead of adjacent ones. And so basically, I was kind of looking over a chat, and it was suggested to stick Corazon in this formation because we're using Birdsong. Why? Well, Corazon has this fun little ability in where he increases the damage of all neutral champions in the formation. It's called his Pirate's Code. And then there's his other power in where he makes normally, it makes anyone adjacent to him count as a neutral champion. So it helps. I thought, yeah, so that was Pirate's Code, was the increasing the damage. It's honorary crewmates. I'm just double checking. Yeah. So we're going to change this from adjacent to non-adjacent. We're going to go non-adjacent. And we're going to stick... Sorry, Corazon. We're sticking you in a corner. So now all non-adjacent champions are considered neutral champions, and now all those neutral buffs will apply to them too, which is a kind of nice bonus. And you know what? I don't get to use Corazon nearly as often as I like, because Grease is fun. In fact, I haven't even... Let's get that pirate code up. Ooh, I mean, I might spend on that. Well, we'll come back to that in a second. Let's finish up this formation. So we've got 2 spots left. Let's stick Viconia in there, because Viconia is going to be fun. She's neutral evil, so I'll put her next to Corazon because I don't need to worry about the adjacencies. We want to reanimate the dead. I always want to reanimate the dead. I mean, why not have an undead army when you can have an undead army? Oh, I need to be pointing this way. When you can have an undead army, always have undead army. Oh, I really want to get a Linder in there, but it's just not gonna happen. So I'm gonna go Catti-brie. I'm just gonna go with some basic helpful, yeah, some helpful DPS and support. All right, what do you think, chat? What do you think? This is not the most optimal formation, but it's pretty darn good, right? Like, it's pretty darn good. Oh, hey, look, it's the King of Feathers. Let's stick a couple potions on here. We only need to get to 350. And if I remember correctly, all those Nightmare Rats, they don't drop any gold. So, not that I am too concerned, but you know what? I've got enough of these potions. Let's just drop a potion of make the gold happen with gold. And then you know what? I'm going to use one of my huge potions of speed, because not only do we have Whittle in the formation, but because we're only going to 350, there's a good chance by the time I'm done setting up the other 2 formations, we might be done. We might be able to get a second Patron variant going here. You never know. So there we go. And now it's going super fast. Yeah. Warlock DBA says, can you change Whittle with Birdsong, or will that hurt something? I can, but having Birdsong adjacent to Averin is helping. Because basically both of them want to be adjacent to a tank. Let's see. We've got him doing the neutral. Yeah, so increases damage of all champions by 50% for each champion adjacent to Averin. So like anyone in that center square, I feel like I'm suddenly playing Hollywood Squares. You'd get a buff, but then like, so Birdsong needs to be adjacent to Whittle. Birdsong could be a little further away from Averin and be fine. I think changing any of those 3 is going to give us a buff in one way and a debuff, and not debuff, but it's going to give us a buff in one way, and then we're going to lose a little bit in the other, and so might as well stick Birdsong in the middle. So, MTK in Hollywood Squares, Paul Lind for the win! See, now I was going to go with Gilbert Gottfried, rest his soul, because especially after he passed away recently, there was that clip of him going around, you fool! Like, I loved Hollywood Squares. When I was a kid, watching Hollywood Squares was ridiculously fun. I didn't know who any of those people were, because I was a child, but yeah, I got to know a lot of those people. I figured out who Penn and Teller was after Hollywood Squares when I finally saw some of their comedy specials. Yeah, you fool! Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna let this run. We're gonna get another adventuring party. going going. So we've got 2 more. So let's get our next poll up. Now this one, we're just gonna do a free play to try to get a whole bunch of challenges done. So chat, there will be a poll starting shortly, as the wonderful Mars will be getting that started. Mert, Vajra, or Zariel, let's go. Let's do this. Yeah, Paul Lind 100%. Listen, Sir Narvi, I'm not saying not Paul Lind. Paul Lind is amazing, but I do feel like at this moment in time, it's hard for me not to think about Gilbert Gottfried. You know, he was lovely. Also, Porque no los dos. Why not the both of them? Why not both? Okay. The poll is going, so I'm going to come back over here to the questions document. Thank you to those of you who have been submitting questions to Mars. Remember to put question in big capital letters, and I will endeavor to do my best to answer questions. I'm assuming most of them are going to be about the game. They might be about my tea. They could be about Orkira. They could be about, you like my shirt? It's my D4. Yeah. Ask me anything. I won't answer everything, but I'll try. Anyway, Foolish Genius 89 question: has Mars informed you about the mysterious Raj patron? I've heard about this because, spoiler alert, I watch a lot of the streams on this show too, and there's a lot of them. Yeah, I heard that a cat made things happen, and I think I would love to have a fourth patron named Raj. I think that would be funny. Foolish Genius 89 also asks, if Orkira was made into a magic card in another theoretical D&D set, what would she do? I'm hoping for Baloth and Commander Legends Baldur's Gate. Ooh, this is such a good question, but I'm an expert on Orkira, but I am not at all an expert on Magic. I've maybe played 2 or 3 Magic games in my life. I have a giant collection of the Forgotten Realms Magic cards, and I look over there because I have one of those big boxes just filled with Magic cards. I have a couple of dragons. They're fun. I have the Book of Exalted Deeds Magic card, which has the best qualifier on it, which is like, play this card and you just win. There's literally a line in this card that's just, if you have it, you win. It's amazing. But I don't know that much about Magic in general. So, correct me if I'm wrong. Blue is kind of your magic deck, but it's kind of it's a counterspell deck. Red is kill things. Red is fire and make things go up in flames. Green are big creatures who do things. Black is necromancy and swamps and things. What did I forget? And white. Is white a healing deck? Is white? Help me. All right, Foolish Genius says red, white, dragon cleric brings things back from the dead. I mean, you got fire, and if I'm remembering correctly that white is all about healing, then yeah. Yeah, I guess a red-white deck would work. Because, yeah, she is... Ninja Monkey says it. White is 1 part healing, 1 part creatures who buff other creatures. So yeah, I think white is definitely up Orkira's alley, and then like a little bit of red because she's like healing, fire. And depending on what formation she is in, is more about the healing or more about the fire. Like in Court of the Raven Queen, all I did was heal. There was like once or twice I attacked things because I was the only healer there. And as the only healer, that's a lot of responsibility. So yeah, I guess a white-red deck. I can't think of more than that because I don't know enough about Magic, but I will take suggestions. I feel like I should go grab my Magic cards from the Forgotten Realms set and pull them out. You know what I'm still looking for? An Eliwick Tumblestrum. Anyway, so okay, so Mars says a white-red with lifelink. Okay. Also, some of these have to have flying because Orkira has wings. That's just how it works. I think we had a poll happen. Oh, geez. Mars has given me the color wheel of magic. I love this so much. Okay, all right. First off, Zariel has won, so the next patron party we're going to put together is for Zariel. But before we go, I have to read this off. White, peace, law, structure, selflessness, equality. With the exception of the law, that is 100% Orkira. She is peace, structure, selflessness, and equality. She's chaotic. She doesn't care what the law says. She wants to do what's right. Blue is knowledge, deceit, caution, deliberation, perfection. Oof. No, none of that. Black is power, self-interest, death, sacrifice, uninhibitedness. I mean, you could argue with the whole being a Phoenix cleric that death and sacrifice is a thing, but I think by death, this magic deck is saying something different than death. They're saying like undeath. Red, freedom, emotion, action, impulse, destruction. Yeah, she's a white-red deck. Yeah. 100% a white-red deck. Okay, as everybody continues to talk about what specific cards Orkira would need in her white-red deck, Wraith YZ, I could see Orkira as a Boros cleric with a Phoenix ability in there. Are there Phoenix magic cards? I'm going to start putting together a formation. Chat, those of you who are magic people, are there Phoenix cards? Because, like, Orkira is definitely a white-red, but if there are Phoenix cards, guess what? Guess what? They all need to be in her deck. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of people say yes to plenty. So many Magic the Gathering Phoenixes. All the Phoenixes. Thank you, Xavier Keith. I do know... So all the magic stuff that I know, and I'm going to point over here like you can see them, I have the Ravnica book and the Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica and all of that. And so the only creature that came along with the D&D books that was a phoenix is they have that Arclight Phoenix. And it's basically, they call it a phoenix because it looks like a bird on fire, but it's not really a phoenix. So I'm talking about phoenix. I'm not just talking about birds on fire. I really do mean like... Phoenix rise from the ashes, going to destroy the world, Phoenix. But I trust you. Let's get a thread going on the Discord. Oh, geez, we're talking about the Discord. Discord.gg/idlechampions. There you go. If you want to get a thread started on the Discord, I will jump on in there as soon as I'm done with this stream. But you can also talk about this now because I want to see all of the Phoenix cards. I want to put together an Orkira Phoenix deck. I'm sure that won't be good at all, but I'll have fun playing it. Okay, let us, while you all talk about Phoenix cards, and if you have any other questions, go ahead and put those in chat, but Zariel won, and I would be remiss if we continue to talk about Magic the Gathering when I'm supposed to put together an adventuring party. So, let's take a quick look at Zariel. So, Jarlaxle, we can definitely get Jarlaxle as our DPS. We, of course, can't do Jarlaxle and a tanking champion because Jarlaxle is not a tank. But let's focus on Jarlaxle because Jarlaxle is also down here with these three. They might put together an evil formation. I don't know. This might be our evil formation, folks. We want a lot of undead. Humanoids, fiends. Okay. We want a lot of undead, which usually means going to Tomb of Annihilation. But I'm kind of maxed out on Tomb at the moment, so let's go to Rime of the Frost Maiden. Yeah, because we've been going to Tikaliki's hut for that one. So let's swap on over. And usually we would set up saving this formation and getting our Modron core all set up. But in this case, we're not trying to do a free play run. We're just trying to get to the end of that adventure variant. So, Icewind Dale. Okay, let's see how long it takes me to find Tikaliki's hut. Nope, none of that. I don't think it's one of the first ones. I don't think it's the beginning. There you are. Okay, 3. So we want Jarlaxle. We want... we're probably putting together an evil party here. And I think it was Makos. Where's... Whoops. Hi, Desmond. I mean, Desmond is awesome, but Desmond is... I might do Baloth if we're going to do an evil party. I'm going to go bulk up for now, but I might change that depending on how we're doing this. All right, well, actually, we can't do Baloth because that's where Jarlaxle is. Sorry. I got distracted. We're going to put Archon there. Okay, I think that was all we needed for Zariel. Yup. I guess Master of Disguise, because I don't really have to worry about gold. Okay, so let's put together... Let us put together a formation. That's going to work with this. And actually, before I do that, I'm going to remind myself, let's try to avoid Brunner, Dritz, and Calliope. And let's try to avoid Barrowin, Binwin, and Puent, and Ishi. There, I've just rattled off a whole bunch of names we're going to try to avoid. Strix might be good here. We might do a Wolfgar. We'll see. Ooh, Human could be fun. Freely is always a strong option. This, we're not, yeah, we might go Shandy here. Calliope is needed in another castle. Quillic would be good. We might stay with Brig. Don't want to go Talon, because as much as I love Talon, they make evil people not as powerful. We might go Blushi. Well, you know what? We're not putting together an evil formation, so let's look. We've been talking about her and her red-white deck. Let's get Orkira in on here. So... Oh yeah, it doesn't really matter, because... Yeah... That's going to be 3. Yeah, I always forget that there's really no other place. Both Makos and Orkira are those champions that are like, I just want to be back here. Just be near nobody. Thank you. Makos is more, don't touch me, don't get near me. Orkira just likes to be within 30 feet of everybody. And there's no real optimal place to put either of them. Let's get Shandy and Freely in play. We're buffing Jarlaxle, who's neutral evil. Let's get you up here. You don't really matter. We're buffing neutral people. Let's get Quillic. Quillic is going to make more... Oh, we got one. Let's go fast. Quillic's going to make more sense there. Ooh. You know what? We're gonna yoink everyone back a little bit here, and I'm gonna stick Blushi in there. I'm gonna stick Blushi up front. Sorry, buddy, you're no longer the front tank. Sorry, my friend. Jarlaxle is melee, right? Yeah, Jarlaxle's on melee. Let's get a human. I think if we go there... Marge? We're gonna do that. Oop, be supportive. Yeah, increase against boss enemies. That's where I wanted. Okay, we've got one spot left, and I can be next to Jarlaxle. Is there someone else that an adjacency would be a nice buff? Sorry, I'm looking over at everybody singing along, which is nice. Binwin's needed another castle. Alright, you know what? Strix, get in there. Yeah. Do the smelly thing. Done. There we go. That's not... 1, 2, 3, 4. I can put you there, and that's gonna help. Because Quillic is one of those, wants to be adjacent to the tank, but not adjacent to a lot of other people, because they buff based on how many people they're not adjacent to. Yeah. And we got some good speed here. All right. Distinguished Adventurers, I think we have our second party. Let's go ahead. Now this one... Let me think about this for a second. Okay, we're gonna... We need to get to at least 250. And this is just 1,000 areas, so we just gotta get to 250, basically. All right, let us save. Oh, sorry, I couldn't mute myself in time, so I just went off camera. Pardon me. I don't usually get allergies, but there's a tree right here. Thank you, everybody. Okay, we're saving this formation. We're gonna come up here. We're gonna make sure this is the formation. Everybody's got their specializations. For those of you who have not joined us before, I'm gonna say 251 because that's my easy identifier that, oh, I was trying to get to 250 for reasons. And let's do a small potion of speed just to do a little kick in the beginning pants. There we go. Optimized, but working for what we need. Thank you, everyone, for the blessings. I appreciate it. Now I'm all sniffly. Oh, I hate that. Okay. Thank you, Mars, for also saying bless you in our backstage document. I appreciate that. Okay, let's go back to answering some questions. I do need to know, I'm not going to open the Discord right away because, like, having too many things open while you're trying to stream, always a bad idea. But if someone did start that thread about an Orkira deck with all the Phoenix cards in it that I now need to go buy the next time I'm at my friendly local game store, please let me know. Meanwhile, Gray L-Shaped has a question. Did you change the lighting for your setup? Yes and no. So I haven't changed the lighting. What's changed is the sun. So I have a window right here. This window faces west. During the winter, there's nothing. I am here in Seattle, where during the winter, when it is overcast, I could have this window wide open and you wouldn't see anything coming on in. But as the time changes, and as the summer approaches, and as the sun now crests in the sky and is now going to be more on this side of the apartment, when I am doing my afternoon streams, there is more direct sunlight this way. And so what happens is, if I have essentially blackout curtains so that when I need to really control the light in here, I can. And what happens is, sometimes I'm bad about really making the blackout curtains go all the way, and so natural light comes on in. So this is about a third of my window has not been completely blocked by my blackout curtains, and so you can kind of see my backdrop. I would just open the window and let you see everything, but then I would be, I am a pale person. I am a white person. I'm a very, very white person. And that much sun coming on in, I would blind you. There'd be lots of white right here. It wouldn't be fun for everybody or anyone. So I try to be a little careful, but I can one of these days open up the window and just let you see the glory of my backdrop. Yes, glory of my backdrop. JDog2773 question. When will the weekly stream schedule go out? You know, that's usually Trevor's job. However, our wonderful community manager, Trevor, who is wonderful and awesome, he's out this week. Let me make a note. I can help with that. I'm just gonna make a little note somewhere. Hold on a second. Remind me to do the weekly schedule on the Discord when I am done, please. There we go. I'll go to the Discord, I'll put up the weekly schedule, and then I will also look for all the Phoenix cards that you all are telling me to buy. Asilar1, Aslatar. I think I eventually got there. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Aslatar1, question. Obviously, we see you involved in Untitled Champions and various D&D and peripheral streams, projects, etc. Sometimes. Are there projects of other types you're involved in, and if so, what? Yes, though it depends on whether you're talking about internet or not. So, the reason I am Oboloran is I am a professional oboist, and before the pandemic, I used to do a lot of oboe things, and now, not so much, for all of the obvious reasons. I actually just posted on my Twitter this morning. I had Ravel's Bolero stuck in my head all weekend, and so I just pulled out all of my instruments and played them all, and stuck a little thing up on Twitter for people to enjoy. So if you follow me on Twitter, you will occasionally get classical music stuff. and me playing oboe and English horn and once in a while saxophone and pretending like I know how to swing. So there's that. As far as streams or other online things, everything is kind of D&D related. That's kind of the other half of my job life. And I say that like gratefully. I say that as I love it and I want to do more, and I'm always looking to be on more streams. There's some streams that are coming up that I've said yes to. They're like charity games and all kinds of stuff. I'm always up for playing D&D on a stream. But that's kind of what I do online, is I do this, or I do D&D stuff. And most of the orchestra stuff, even beforehand, weren't putting their stuff out online a lot. It was basically just me filming, putting it up on my Twitter. So yeah, I think, so basically the answer is no, except for occasionally when I put oboe stuff on Twitter. Or if you happen to live in the greater Seattle area and you can come to see the Bellevue Symphony or the Federal Way Symphony and when they're playing, and then yes. But thank you for asking. The Lurking Writer, off topic question. I mean, I'm seeing Phoenix in this question, so it's only mildly off topic. Phoenix Saga or Dark Phoenix Saga? Why can Hollywood not get either right? Oh, listen. Okay, so I am not so huge of a comic book fan to say that I know the original comic book better for the Dark Phoenix Saga. I mostly know the way that was done in the 80s and in the 90s cartoon and in the movies, and yeah. I think, and this is my not very educated movie opinion, grain of salt. I think the Dark Phoenix Saga, I think all of those, whether it's the X-Men movies that don't do well or any of the superhero movies that fall short, there's something about the way the movie is made that feels too cartoony. It's done with too much of a disbelief, whether it's the writing or the acting or the scenery and the costumes, whatever it is. There's something that just there's not a weight and a seriousness to it, so that when the costumes happen, you suspend your disbelief. And I think they just haven't had a chance to do that storyline yet in a good way. And because of the nature of that storyline, that's not something you can throw at new audiences right away. That is we can't give you Thanos without at least building up to the universe of everything. We can't give you Into the Spider-Verse without at least introducing you to Spider-Man. We can't make Jean Grey become the Phoenix without at least introducing you to X-Men, the X-Men's X-Man. And that hasn't happened really that good. Like, that first Patrick Stewart X-Men movie, was wonderful. I know the newer ones, those are really good, but they've been inconsistent, right? So I think if you could have a good couple that really establish the world, that really establish these characters, so that when you get to that, because the stakes of that are twofold. It's the actual, oh crap, world is about to be destroyed, superhero high-level stakes. But then there's the other half of that, which is the emotional stakes. Here is someone that multiple people love for multiple reasons at multiple levels, who has suddenly turned maybe evil in a way, and it's not fully, is it possession? Is it not possession? Is she happy to have become this power? There's a lot of really good questions and emotional weight that need to go along with that, and that is hard when you don't have the foundation below it. I don't know if any of that made any sense. That is just my opinion. It is a rambling opinion. I hope you enjoy. I am also, though, not a giant movie person and don't know a lot about the making of movies. I just go see movies that I think are going to be fun. JDog2773, question. How long before we get a Blues Brothers or Animal House skin for Blueshy? I mean, if I thought that was a possibility, because yeah, I keep wanting to go Belushi. Even when I was getting ready to voice over the champion spotlights that we do, that are the like 2 minutes videos, here's everything you need to know about this champion. Basically my warm up for that was standing in this room going, Blueshy, 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 Belushi? Nope. Say it 10 more times. It was just me over and over. And I still sometimes Belushi. Still happens. Old Man Master, question. Community challenge when? I have many coins to use. Yes. That is a good question. I know that's a bad answer. I know people have asked me this question a couple times and I'm like, yeah, we want to do this, but things are busy. And I think we're at the point where, hey, it's always busy. And so if we're going to make it happen, we just have to make it happen. I do want to do it, but it's a lot more work and pressure on our mods who already do an amazing job doing 3 billion things all at once. So it's really hard to throw that at them too. But you're right. It's fun. Also, there just might be other things we can do with the community, with the challenge coins, you know. Yeah. J-Dog, pull the trigger, Lauren. Listen, if it was just me running the thing the whole week, yeah, sure, I'd do it. But I pull the trigger on that one, and then like 5 other people have to do a lot of work. If there were other things we could do with the challenge, I mean, really the only thing on there that I think is fun is the choose an emote to unlock. So that if you don't have the resources to subscribe to us, which I totally understand, you can at least use your challenge coins to unlock an emote. And hey, who doesn't want to have a natural 20 with the 3D? Aw. But yeah, if anyone's got any suggestions for, besides the community challenges, which 100% we want to do, we should be doing, we just haven't had a chance yet again. Any other things that we could do with those challenge points would be nice. Would be nice to offer them. Foolish Genius 89, question. Any tips on scale care? I'm playing a Yan T with scales on joints. I mean, I can give you, are you asking me or asking Orkira? When I am playing a scaly humanoid in a game like Orkira, or when I'm a DM. So I can't say that this is a D&D wide thing. This isn't like a canon thing. I did a little bit of research into real life. Basically, I looked at pangolins, snakes, bearded dragons, and just lizards in general, because I was looking for that kind of thing. Like, how do you care for those scales? What happens when they're damaged? That kind of stuff. And because scales, depending on the creature, at least in the real world, scales are sometimes an exoskeleton type of thing. Sometimes they're like nails, like pangolins. Those aren't the same kind of scales as like bearded dragons. Those are basically like fingernail stuff that just turn into scales. So it's really, really kind of cool to learn about that kind of stuff. And so I've hodgepodged together based on what I think is fun and cool and also makes sense in a fantasy world. I don't know. But yeah, scale care. All of the scaly creatures in my D&D games do molt on a semi-regular basis. When they're young, they molt a lot, because molting in general is the way that scaly creatures grow. And when you're growing, you eventually have to shed your skin. I think with most of the humanoid scaled creatures, they don't molt as one big thing. They don't do the snake thing where they just shed a skin and then there's just like, here's an Orkira just in skin. I think that they shed and it's piecemeal. And so there's a lot of like spending an awkward week scrubbing your scales and washing. And then I think there would also be like essential oils that you would get to help keep your scales shiny. I did find that for real life reptiles, for a lot of them, when they are hurt, when their scales get damaged and they heal, it can go a bunch of different ways. Sometimes that scale it'll fall out and the next one that'll grow and it'll be fine. Sometimes it comes in and it'll forever be wonky. Sometimes it'll come in and it will be discolored. So you can have scars as a scaly creature because, your scales get damaged. So yeah, that's kind of the way I go with it. A lot of the stuff that I just talked about is really just fun stuff in my head. I think only once or twice did it ever come up in a game with Orkira, and it was never like, I've never had her actually molt on screen because I think that's just a little too much. But she's talked about it, and she's talked about other things off, hey, remember back when? So yeah, it's fun. I'm going to answer a couple more questions, but I think since it is 1 o'clock and we've got a new swath of wonderful people coming in from Idle Champions, hi, welcome to Weekly Patronage, let's do another poll. I've got one more adventuring party left, and I've still got 2 patrons. We've got Vajra and Mert, who we haven't done anything for yet. So let's go ahead and get a poll going in chat, and if you would like to see us do challenges for either Mert or Vajra, go ahead and vote for your favorite in chat. And you know what I'm going to do? While we're doing that, I'm going to switch back over here because we've got our Strahd party. They're not taking care of regular old challenges. We're doing an adventure variant over here. And if life is good and the universe is kind and all is right with the world, and I've made a formation that actually works, we might get this done before the end of the show today. We might put a different adventure in here. As you can see, they're churning along pretty fast. So yeah, let's get that poll going, and we'll see whether the third adventuring party, is that going to be Vajra or is that going to be Mert? Meanwhile, answer a couple more questions. Gunnar Jurgen, quick question to anyone. The big potions like Gem Hunter, they do not stop after a reset, right? Correct. You can actually see I've got one going on right here. I've got Potion of the Gem Hunter, which I've got half a day left on. These big guys, the ones that will last like a week, those are on for all of your parties at all times. And I'm sure you got this answer already. I'm sure you got this answer already in chat. But, I like to answer these kinds of questions too, in case someone is watching the VOD and goes, well, I want to know that too. So yes, the big ones. The ones that come with, like, if you buy a pack, they are good. As you can see, Potions of Gem Hunter, it's over here too. It's going nice over here. Once this reset happens, it will continue to be active. And that is different than these ones, which are only good for the adventure that you're on. And then it either expires, so it lasts for, in this case, an hour, and then it ends, or you complete the adventure, and it's done. Let's see. Jamaica Neilding question. Has Orkira had to face more existential dread than basically anyone? After hearing the discussion on how the alternative Waterdeep was basically her domain of dread, being able to help everyone in the world and it's still awful, I also remembered the Pocket Dimension, the name of Asmodeus. She's been through a lot. Yes. I can't say more than anyone else. I mean, there's a lot of amazing D&D characters out there. I will say there was an interesting moment when Erin was doing the recap of Idle Champions Presents Court of the Raven Queen, where she was doing the recap of all 5 episodes as Havilar. And if you haven't watched Erin M. Evans recap any of our Idle Champions Present shows as Havilar, they're on Champions of Lore. You can look them up on our YouTube. They are absolutely brilliant. They are some of the funniest. it's not really a stand-up routine. It really is a recap. They're so funny. They're amazingly funny. They're also really good from the point of view of Avalar. So definitely watch. But she was giving the recap, and I will say, Orkira in that show is not a main character. She's not the focus, right? It's Farida and Havilar and Shaka are kind of the big focuses. And then Desmond and Tatiana are kind of like the secondary focus because of them being newer champions, because of them getting pulled in a different way. So there was a lot of me as both a player and Orkira thinking about ways to support them. How do I help them in the story? But of course, there were things that happened during the Raven Queen that affected everybody, and memories that were brought up for everyone. And Orkira had a couple picked, and B. Dave Walters, who is a brilliant DM and amazing, has been playing freely with Orkira for years. Ironically enough for this question, the first time B. Dave came to play with us when we were still Heroes of the Veil, was one of those episodes in where really bad things happened to Orkira. Super bad things. So he started off his adventures with Orkira already being in a state. So we got through the whole series, and then I'm watching Erin do this recap. And she got to the point, Havilar got to the point where she was talking about how the Raven Queen was presenting to each of the party members basically memories from their past and then really difficult questions. And she didn't go into a lot of details for anybody, but the thing that she said about Orkira was something along the lines of, gosh, I didn't know, but she's been through a lot. I'm like, that's kind of an understatement, isn't it? But, it's hard for me to talk about how difficult Orkira has had it standing next to Desmond and Tatiana from the Black Dice Society, who I think in a shorter amount of time have had it way worse, have gone through figurative hell, if not literal. So yeah. I appreciate you saying so, though. Okay, we have a winner. Mert has won. So, for those of you who are joining us who do have questions either about the game or the reason we're talking about Orkira so much because, or, anything else that you want to ask questions about, go ahead and continue to put those in chat with question in big capital letters at the beginning, because we have Mars, the amazing Mars, the wonderful Mars, grabbing those questions and shoving them into a backstage document. So when I'm sitting here going, let's put you here, and let's put you here, I don't miss your question. Meanwhile, Mert has won. What does Mert want? Mert. He's a money lender. Mert wants a lot of undead and beasts. Well, we're already doing undead stuff. Beasts. Oh, beasts. So, there is obviously beast intentions. If you're looking for the top place to go in Grand Tour, there's like 2 or 3. It's Beast Intentions, it's Mad Wizard, it's a couple of adventure free plays that you can go and get like everything done all the time. I like to change it up a little bit. It makes things a little more interesting. Also, I like to get favor in some of the other campaigns other than Grand Tour. So let's go to Witchlight. Hither into the Feywild gives us a lot of beasts. And we'll come back to this a little later, and hopefully we'll get to, what was it, 350 we gotta get to? Oh no, this is a free play. Yeah, I think it's this one over here, Nightmare Rats. I think we gotta get to 350, but for the moment, let's go here. Let us get a Mert done. Mert. Witchlight. What was it doing again? Hither to the Feywild is not here. It's so close. Here, the Feywild's here. There we go. All right. So I know we need Binwin, Barrowin, and someone else. Barrowin, Binwin, and Puent. Ishi is our highest total damage dealer. Okay. Love you, Dahani, but we're gonna... Well, let's get a couple of... There we go. Ishii, come on out. I love having Ishii as my damage dealer. I'm just making sure. Nope, we're okay. So... let us grab... There's Binwin. I mean, I want her to target herself. So, Binwin. Barrowin is over here. And Went. Okay. So, we definitely want Barrowin nearby Ishii. We're going to make that happen. I don't think there's anything else we could really do except at this point... see, now, this is where it's going to be hard because Binwin is also a DPS, so it's very possible that at least one of these runs, Binwin is going to steal top DPS, but that's okay. We're going to have to do multiple runs anyway to get all this done. I guess extra attacks and extra damage. Do I want people to go faster? Oof. All right, I'm going to have to look at you for a second. I haven't used Point in a while. Is all champions damage? Okay, so count them off is when Point kills someone. That's where smell is the cooldowns get lower. Let's say cooldowns increased. I kind of want to just do cooldowns. I think I'm going to do cooldowns. And we'll keep Point next to Ishii. Okay. I mean, Penelope's always good. We might... Do I want Dragonbait or Nova? How smart is Ishii? Ishii's not bad. Ishii's not bad. We might go for Nova. We need 2 tanks. We might go for Lazaps. This might be a hitch. Oh, we could... I mean, we could put Gosrick in here. There's... I mean, it doesn't really matter that there's not any snow, because he's gonna make it snow. He is gonna make it snow. I kind of want to stick Dungeon Master in there and just see what happens, but we got enough going on. We might stick Krull in there. Korth is always a good option. And I love you, Dahani, but I already have too many people trying to steal top DPS. Okay. So here's our 2 tanks. We got Nova and whoops and Zaps. We're gonna stick Bruner in here. We're gonna stick Korth. Can I still get Gosrick in here? We want that one. We want that one. Can I still get Gosrick in here in a snowflake? Yes, I can. Awesome. Poor Penelope. Well, you know what? If Penelope is not going to be in an effective place, I don't remember offhand if there's a lot of armor here. We're not going very high. My guess is we're only going to like 250 or 300. So let's just debuff. Let's just do in the debuff, and then let's switch to Nearest and get you on in here, and hopefully we can buff Ishii a little bit more. Oh. You're gonna be judged by Kelemvor. This'll work. This'll work, right, chat? That's true. That's true. Jamie Gunyielding says Lazaps is great with all the short folk. Absolutely. So in this case, it's going to help because of Ishii. All right, we're going to save this formation. Oh, and we have to double check how far we got to get. It's 500 area. Oh, it's 250 or more. So this is another one in where all we got to get to is 250. Let's get that formation in here. Let's make sure all of the specializations are in here. Let's stick another a small potion of speed. I like just giving these like a little kick in the pants. Just like, here you go. Now go out and be a little faster. Just at the beginning. And there we go. This is not the most optimal formation for pushing our wall. But you know what we're going to get done here? A lot of this. Super duper duper lot of this. You know what we also haven't done yet? And this reminded me. This open a Mert patron chest. For those of you who are wondering, why do you continue to do these patron challenges over and over and over again? Well, first off, it's fun. And second off, look what we can get. Let us go down the line. Let's get ourselves some Modron component pieces. You and you. And also for those who need it, time gate pieces, which are always useful. There's also huge potions. So, like, there are always reasons. But for me, the big one is the Modron component chests. And one of these days, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to spend like an hour. I'm going to wipe clean all of my Modron, automation. And I'm just going to start over, and I'm just going to reconfigure everything now that I know more, now that I have way more pieces, now that I'm not building it out piecemeal as I buff up all of my cores. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to spend the hour. I'm going to play that pipe game hardcore. Not on this stream, because this is not what this stream is about. But one of these days, it's going to happen. Hardcore pipe game. All right. Let us... Whoops, I've clicked on the wrong thing. I kind of want to open those up now. And we'll open them up later. Let's go back to answering questions. Ooh. Actually, before we get to the questions, I noticed there's the wonderful Mars has also grabbed a challenge coin and community challenge ideas. All right, I'm here for it. Elysium Atreides says, I don't know if it's a really good... Let me try reading that again with the correct words. I don't know if it's really good for this channel, but a lot of regular streamers I watch have a channel point redeemed to remind them to hydrate and check their posture. I mean, I think that's really good for every channel. We already have that. At least the hydrate part of it. Watch. Hey, everybody, you should go check out our Discord, discord.gg/idlechampions. Where you can find a lot of help from a lot of the people in the community for all of your Idle Champions needs, so that when there isn't a stream on, you have a place to go and hang out. Yeah, see, drink, it's become the thing. Yeah, see, J-Dog automatically put in like exclamation point drink, but let's be honest, that's not what this channel, it's exclamation point Discord. And every time, you gotta drink. As for the posture check, that might not be a bad one. We'd have to figure out how to do it so that it doesn't spam the chat, because especially on Paint and Slay on Fridays, V and I are constantly checking up on each other and talking about taking a stretch and checking your posture and not getting a slouch. And I have the standing desk, so I'm usually in a slightly better position. I'm not doing that too much. But I mean, feel free to yell at me in chat if you're like, hey, Lauren, stop slouching. Azaris199X, I just happen to be looking over at chat when I see, is there a Thri-Kreen champion in the game? No, there is not, because there hasn't been Thri-Kreen in 5th edition D&D. But they announced with Spelljammer, Thri-Kreen. I played a Thri-Kreen in 4th edition, and it was so fun. I love my Mantis people. Will there be? Don't know. That is a question for future times. But yes, Spelljammer is not out yet. It may be confirmed, but it is not released. In general, for those that don't know, the champions that we have in the game do have some criteria beyond being awesome. They do need to play 5th edition D&D because, hey, that's what we do. And they have to, in some way, connect to the Forgotten Realms, even if it's just very, very vaguely. Or just to any of the D&D stuff that's out there. Because, we're idle champions of the Forgotten Realms. So that's really it. Like, it's a very broad category. And so because Thri-Kreen have not been out in 5th edition as a character race that you could play yet, and there are no champions that we could draw from, there you go. And I don't know what's going to be coming in the future, except for the fact that Lauren, this person right here, will be playing a Thri-Kreen at some point. Put me in your game. Put me in your stream. I will play a Thri-Kreen. That's right. Do you want Mantis people? I know you want Mantis people. Put me in your game. I will be a Mantis person. I am so excited. Okay. Back to suggestions. The Lurking Rider has a bunch. Show specific options for the coins. Color choices for Paint and Slay minis, more Havilar recaps for Champions of Lore, etc. That's not a bad idea. I would say the color choices for Paint and Slay, we would have to do a specific mini for that, because V does a very good job of planning out our day, planning out the mini that we're going to paint. And she makes sure that I have all of the paint colors that we need. So that, while that's a really good idea, we would have to be prepared in a very different way. That's not something that we could kind of do on the fly. Because, for example, I'm looking back there like you can see the Remoraz. It's right there. So last week we finished out the Remoraz, which is a lot of blues and a lot of white and a lot of black and gray and then red and orange and yellow for the spikes on the back. Really no green, really no purple. There's a whole 5 or 6 colors that are in my Vallejo collection that we just weren't going to use and didn't use. So I just didn't pull them out of the thing because I only have a certain space. So we could do that, but we would need to have a mini that V basically didn't prepare ahead of time, was like, okay, we're just going to go with the chat and whatever they say. Maybe like, okay, we're going to start with this, and then while we're doing this, chat can vote on something, or chat can use the challenge coins. So that could be interesting. Sir Narvi wants to know, where do we submit stream requests to have Lauren play a Thri-Kreen? You know what? If you happen to have, if you're out there and happen to have a stream going, put me in, coach. I'm ready to play a Thri-Kreen. Let's see. More suggestions. Find an old D&D choose your own adventure book, then ask chat to donate coins to determine the outcome of the story. We did a little bit of chat plays D&D. They always choose the fireball. Lurking Rider, help a DM craft an adventure for a future charity stream event. Interesting. I'm gonna slightly spoil something. Tiny. We usually don't announce those charity games until right before the charity familiar or whatever charity thing, it's usually familiar, is going to drop. And that's kind of a new thing. For a while, we announced, hey, look, a familiar is on sale for a charity the day it happened. And recently, we've moved that back. So recently, like the Friday before, we announced, hey, charity event. Your idea is a really good idea if we announced it weeks in advance. Because in order to have that game ready, I need to be working on it way sooner than 4 days beforehand. So if we ever get to the point that we've moved back the announcement far enough that I or whoever is the DM could conceivably run that stream, get those suggestions, and incorporate those into the game, I would totally do that. But at the moment, because we usually announce our charity initiatives 3 or 4 days before they actually go live, that's a little hard. It's I don't know about all of you, but it sometimes takes me a while to write any one-shot, but especially like the Pear Passage that we just did. A lot of writing those adventures are not just, hey, let me come up with something fun for these players playing these characters. There's other considerations. There's things like, well, I need to make sure that it fits in a 2-hour timeline, which for a lot of people, they would say that is a very small timeline. If I'm going to have a fight happen or possibly happen, I need to make sure that this is not a game that's going to go 4 hours. I personally believe that if you're going to do a charity game, if you're asking for donations from the audience, that unless you're doing something specific, you want the game to be kind of lighthearted and fun. And so keeping that in mind and avoiding getting into serious topics, depending on what the suggestions are, that's important. I went off on a very weird rant. Why, chat, why are you letting me talk about this? Oh, and I see Camaro85's, so we have votes with channel points like with Idle Champions Presents just in chat. I would do that for like specific D&D games. There's a lot of D&D shows that are out there that do, there are regular shows in where you can donate bits or channel points or a variety of things and affect the game. And then there's lots of honey bunches of votes of actual charity games out there and where you donate to affect the game. I've played and run in a bunch of those. The eminent B. Dave Walters, the DM of Idle Champions Presents, has done... He almost specializes in running level 20 charity events and where people can donate and just say, hey, would you throw an ancient dragon at them? And he'll just be like, sure, here we go. Punk. Ancient dragon, done. You donate enough and you just get Tiamat. So yeah, Idle Champions Presents is probably the closest we come because you can vote, because all of you lovely people can vote in the game during the week. And then that gives B-Dave enough time the day of the show to incorporate all that into the adventure. Is that on the fly? Not so much, but for making sure that we honor the votes that all of you have had, I think it works better because it gives him a little bit of time to craft things and still have an adventure happen. Anyway, these are excellent suggestions. Please keep them coming. And for those of you who are wondering what we're talking about, since it is almost a half an hour before the end of the show, specifically, I am asking for suggestions for what we could do with our channel points besides the community challenges, which I know we want to do more of. I will also say, there is a suggestion channel on our Discord, discord.gg/idlechampions. I just like dead eye staring at the camera every single time I do that. If you come to our suggestion channel, that is literally a place where you can leave suggestions. Suggest things about the game, about shows, about anything really Idle Champions related. And I do mean suggestions. If you have like a bug or an issue, that's not the place to do it because we have specific places for that, especially if you have a bug. If there is something wrong, make sure you come down here to support, click on OK, tell us what's going wrong, we want to fix that. And the reason I say that is the suggestions channel, there are bunches of us who look at that, who read that through, who take that very seriously and compile some of the suggestions that are put there. But we don't respond to everything. And the reason is there might be a reason why your idea is a really good idea when we just can't do it, but that's a reason that we can't talk about for whatever reason. Also, there's just a lot going on. So we don't always have a chance to respond in there. And for a suggestion, as long as you understand, hey, we're reading them all and we're taking them seriously, and tons of stuff that we are doing are because of suggestions we've gotten from the community, you can be assured that we've looked at it. We just won't reply there. But if it's something like a bug or an issue, we want to reply to it, put it in a channel, and where we're gonna prioritize it or fill out the support form. So back to questiones. Alex Byrne wants to know, I have recently noticed Shaka becoming my DPS in many formations. Any idea why that could be? Oof. I mean, Shaka's awesome. But he is really a support character. My guess is whatever the formation that you've got him in, I don't want to change him out quite for the moment. My suggestion is whatever formation you have him in is they are maybe accidentally, I don't know, buffing Shaka. Also, Shaka can buff himself. If his puzzle includes tiefling or male and non-binary and you put him in one of those spots, he will buff himself. So if he ends up in a spot in where he's buffing himself and then also is getting buffs from other people, Shaka's no slouch. Like, did you watch Idle Champions Court of the Raven Queen? He, like, double disintegrated stuff and walls of light and all kinds of things. So yeah, that is, without knowing anything else about your game, that is my off-the-cuff gut reaction. I think we would need to see a formation or find out a little bit more about, you know, what formations are you using, what other champions are you using. That may be, I'll drink again, that may be a good thing to bring to the Discord, discord.gg/idle champions. Because there is a formation channel there where you can ask that and then screenshot your formation and put it up there and say, hey, look at this. I'm trying to make this champion my DPS, but Shaka's killing everybody. What's going on? And the people there can actually look and say, well, this and this and this and this and this. So my gut says Shaka's just getting the most buffs. Shaka's just getting buff. And then also something about the formation, but knowing what is in your formation at the time is going to be able to nail that down. JDog2773, question, are you covering the bi-weekly Reddit Q&A for Trevor this week? It's not me. It is not me. I don't know who it is, but it is not me. I will find out more. I will discover more for you. Also, Weekly Patronage has a few more challenges left. Oh, you know what we should do? We should come on over here. Let's see how the rats are doing. Because depending on what happens here, we might be able to get one more. We might be able to get like an adventure variant started. I don't know if we can get it finished, but 53 areas, and we're cranking away, and everything's going good. Yeah. You know what? I'll even throw another couple potions on there. Why not? Let's do ludicrous speed. Let's see if we can get this done. Sean CJW question. Do you need time gate pieces for the time gates that open this weekend, or are those free? The time gate that opens this weekend is free. You get a time gate. So on Friday at noon Pacific, time gate will open for free. That will give you the option of 3 champions. The way it usually works is it tries to offer you at least one champion you don't have, and then 2 others. So that one this weekend, you do not need time gate pieces for, but it will give you an option of 3 champions. And you will probably notice on Friday, there is a lot of people hanging out in chat or on the Discord or on the Reddit subreddit or, wherever people like to chat about the game going, here are my 3 champions. Who do you suggest I go for? It's a fun game. There's a lot of discussion about who you should pick. Friendly discussion. Keep it friendly. But you are right. The first one you open after noon Pacific on Friday will be free. After that, if you do the whole time gate and close it down and open up another one, those will cost time gate pieces. Let's see. Mars says, I recently tried Darjeeling for the first time. Loving it. Got another cup right now, actually. Do you have any recent tea or gastronomical in general discoveries? Ooh. Not really. I've been intentionally trying to get through my tea collection and not buy new tea until I don't have a ton of tea. I mean, I'm going to have a tendency no matter what, but I've been trying to intentionally drink the stuff that I maybe only have a couple of cups left with so that I can reduce my stock by a little bit. So I haven't bought any new tea in a while. And we're kind of boring when it comes to food. So I haven't had a chance to try new things yet. I am the kind of person who will try, though. Unless it is pork, I will pretty much try anything. I'll even try things with cheese. I just don't want to eat a lot of cheese because it makes my face break out. But yeah, you offer me something new, and I will at least try it twice. There's on Twitter, Alicia Marie is one of the fantastic people who's on Children of Erte with us, who's a wonderful person, an amazing cosplayer and costumer, and does amazing things on a regular basis. She and B-Dave will compete, posting things on Twitter that are interesting combinations of food, odd combinations of food, disgusting combinations of food, and asking, would you try this? And my answer almost always is yes, because why not? Why not try it? And I always suggest try something twice if it's new. And the reason I say that is because the first time you try something new, you don't know what to expect, and what you get, you might not like simply because you weren't expecting it. It's that I was expecting this to be pop, but it's actually juice. And even though I like juice, because I was expecting pop, I think this is disgusting. It's that kind of thing. So when it's new and you don't know what to expect, that first taste can be a little, ugh. Drink some water. Try it at least one more time. Now that you know the flavor profile and the mouthfeel, now that you know what to expect, try it again. You might like it now that you've tried it again. And yes, go follow Alicia Marie if you want to see all of the fun things with pickles that she's. Look at this, Nightmare Rats! Yes. Can I get Joy in chat? Hey, if you've got the emotes, give me natural 20s in chat. Natural 20s in chat. Look at that. Nightmare Rats is done. All right. Let's see if we can get something else done. Oh, Strahd, here we go. So let's complete this. We're going to get some Barovian coins. We're going to get some influence. Let's see if we can do one more adventure variant with Strahd. So we're here in Witchlight. Let's stay in Witchlight. Let's come over here. Okay, so now we're going to get to the fun of I'm going to have extra special stuff. So I don't want to do a variant that is really going to like extra special restrict us. Share some wisdom. Oh, come on. Champions next to Toast with base attack. Cool. Okay, that's not so bad. Okay, Bully for you I will do when I have more than 20 minutes and can pay attention. Let's go back here. What do we got? Yeah, let's do here. We've lost a spot, but that's okay. Gold find is reduced. Meh, that's okay. Enemies move faster and deal a lot more damage. Thing to watch out for, but there's no other restrictions on our champions. So let's see if we can get this done before the end of the show. Let's see if we can, we're not going to be able to get this variant done, but let's see if we can at least get it set up. All right, Cathris, stay back there. So here's what we've got. We'll probably stick with Celise. We'll probably stick with Avron. We'll probably stick with Tyrell. We'll probably stick with Birdsong. We might end up doing much of the same formation, to be honest. And we might be able to actually get a Lindra in there this time, too. I don't think... Oh, we can now add Baloth. Okay, all right. Let's. So a lot of this is going to be a very similar formation to what we just had. So let's get our party started here, right? Go be a moose. Whoops. Yeah. So you're a lawful neutral. We'll put you there. There's the moose. Bomb. neutral. Birdsong does not have to be directly behind either of these, because Selise's Divine Sense is, 2 columns. Soloist. And Tyrell, I think it's everybody. It's everybody. So, let's do Alindra. Put you there, because then you're going to be next to as few people as possible, but next to the DPS. We're also going to put... Actually, that might be a good place for Averin, because we're gonna grab Baloth, and let's stick Baloth there. Judgy. Always gotta be extra judgy. The brows. Be the judgiest of brows. We might not do the Corazon trick, because we probably don't need it. It's a nice buff, but we don't need it. Since we've got Alindra, let's make sure we're maximizing our Heroes of the Plains buff. Definitely want you there. We've got 2 more spots, and we've still got spots next to Birdsong. We just have a wealth of options. Friends. So many options. You're dexterous. I had a moment, I'm like, this might be a Viconia. Have to respec everybody, but we could go Farida and then put Dragonborn Daddy in there. I kind of want to do that. I kind of want to do it. Chat, help me. You're my only hope. Alindra next to Whittle. Let's stick Baloth over here, and let's put Whittle there. You know what, though? If we're gonna go for this super speed combination, let's stick with Birdsong, because half the fun of Birdsong is she's fast. She's super fast. Let's get Viconia in there. Viconia doesn't really need to be next to anybody, but there you are. We could put Cathris in there and then have always get the undead. We could put Cathris, yes. And then normally I stick Cathris in the back and I say Unseen Encouragement now targets all non-adjacent champions, but in this case, he's going to be adjacent to Birdsong, so I don't have to worry, because plunk. So there we go. Yeah. Let's drop a few potions on these folks. I got so many of these. Let's make you strong. Let's make you super strong. And we'll go super fast. And you know what? Here, Fire Breath. Have fun. Have fun. We're only going to 400, but let's make it happen. I got trials to do this week. I gotta get done with some of this Strahd stuff. Strahd wants me to be. God, it's going so fast. It's so good. It's so good. There you go. Right? Is this the first time on Weekly Patronage that we've done 4 different formations? Is this the first time? I think this might be the first time. Because usually we get 3, and then they're just grinding away while I answer questions. And I think the other weeks in where we've done adventure variants, we haven't finished it in time. But because of what we did, and we did it first, and because we got through it fast and I stuck a huge potion on there, this might be the first time. Chat, it's the first time we've got 4 different formations in one episode. Mazel tov. All right. Got about 15 minutes left. Let's see. Lurking Rider says, Strahd was the correct choice after all. Let's see if I have any questions that have come on in. Ye Olde Dice Goblin. Question, special guest star Lauren the Thrycreen on Heroes of the Multiverse. I mean, that'd be super fun. I wouldn't say no. But, you know, that cast is already stacked with awesome people. And it would be egotistical of me to think that, hey, have me on as a special guest, because their special guests are people like Brendan Lee Mulligan. So, but I would never say no to playing with any of those folks. Azaris199X, pretty new to the game. Hey, welcome. Been playing for about a week. Looking for suggestions on a great early game speed champion to try to acquire. Only one I have currently is Minsk. Congrats on completing Nightmare Rats in time, by the way. Ooh, well, thank you. An early speed champion. Well, if you're talking early as in early in the formation, as you can see, Whittle is awesome. Whittle's a great buffer. Whittle is also going to help you go super fast. Let me think. I mean, Briv is also going to be really good, but it's speed in a different way. And part of me wants to say hold off for a couple of days, because like we were talking about before, there's a free Time Gate weekend coming up this weekend. You might want to see what happens, who you get access to. But if you do want to go for a champion, because you've got plenty of time, yeah, Whittle. I really like Shandy. Shandy is solid. Both, what I appreciate in a speed champion is not just speed, but what else can you do for me? And Shandy is also a really solid buffer. Yeah, Whittle, Shandy. I mean, I'm skipping past a lot of other speed champions on here. There are plenty of speed, but if you kind of want my top picks, Vi is really good. Now, Vi is slot 12, so if you're new, you might still be struggling there. But yeah, Vi is really good, and is also going to help with Gold Find, which in the early game, Gold Find is also going to be incredibly useful. So I'd say one of those three, either Whittle or Shandy or Vi. And the way I would pick is twofold. First off, who do you like better? Who looks more fun? Because, you might as well get yourself a formation of champions you like playing with. And two, who do you possibly have fewer people in that slot? For example, so we're talking about slot 2, 3, 4, 5, slot 6, and slot 12. If you've already unlocked 2 or 3 champions here, 2 or 3 champions here, but you only have the one here, it's probably useful to get a second champion in that slot. So maybe go for Vi. So yeah, if you're looking at those 3 that I've suggested and don't know which to go for, look at who you have the least number of champions in a slot for and go for the champion that can help fill that slot. Now, as I said, there's probably going to be a lot of other people. Yeah, Gray L-shaped Deacon is excellent. I love Deacon. His Doom is so much fun. It kills me on a regular basis that Orkira and Dahani and Deacon can't be in the same formation, but honestly, wherever they put Orkira, there would be a champion that I'm like, but I want to be able to play with them. Yeah, Deacon is super fun. Yeah, a lot of people talking about Ashara. And Shandy being in the same slot, but Shandy's just super good. Yeah. Oh, and we have an update. I happen to be looking, and Azaris199X says, I have 1, 4, 5, 10, and 12 to populate with a second champion. Ooh, there you go. So yeah, I would agree with everybody in chat. Deacon is excellent for a speed champion. 2, 3, 4. It's not really an excellent speed champion in here, so if you're focused on speed, I wouldn't go for 4. 5 is Briv. 5 is Briv. Get yourself a Briv. Briv is a solid tanker and is an amazing speed champion. 10 is over here. I mean, Yorvin is fun, but I don't think he's a top speed champion. And then 12 would be Vi. There you go. You've got some suggestions. Also, there's not really a wrong answer here. Like, everybody's giving you all excellent. I wouldn't disagree with any of the suggestions that are in chat. If you come to our Discord, discord.gg/idlechampions, they're all going to have excellent suggestions as well. None of them are wrong. What it becomes is, what do you think is going to be more fun? A little bit of your gut, and sometimes luck, especially if you decide to wait until Friday for the free time gate and see what comes up. Because if one of those champions comes up, you may want to prioritize that champion. But there is not a wrong answer, because in the end, one of the fun things about this game is collecting all the champions and getting yourself a really deep roster. We have 100 champions in this game. I know that sounds daunting, but you can get them all with just a little bit of work and doing some extra stuff. There's no money involved. You can get all the champions. And getting that deep roster, as you've probably seen, especially from this show, where I've got 3 different parties going and all kinds of restrictions all over the place, getting that deep roster is super duper useful. So that's why I'm saying there's no wrong answer to which champion should I go for, because the long-term answer is all of them. Okay. I got a few more minutes. Wolfson73, is there a good newbie channel? I'm on like day 4 and still looking for all the basics. Well, welcome. I'm so happy to have so many new people here. Welcome to the show. Yes. So you're gonna see there's a ton of shows on this channel. All of them will help you in some way, shape, or form. The ones that are specifically Idle Champions focused, because we do have shows that are less about the game and more tangential to the game, like Champions of Lore, which is all about the lore of the things that you see in Idle Champions and see in the Forgotten Realms. But the stuff that's going to help you, so Mars does a bunch of shows, Mars Guiding Hand, a bunch of them in the mornings, and there's one in the afternoon on Wednesdays. And those are always excellent places to go, both to get advice and to watch. And Mars did remind me that they just started a brand new account last week to play on Mars Guiding Hand. So if you want to play along with somebody who is familiar with the game and is playing from the beginning, there you go. I would like to think I am beginner friendly, even though you won't get access to patrons for a while. It'll take a little bit before you get access to them. We do a lot of talking about all of the champions, and we answer a lot of questions. There is Formation Save, which happens twice a week with 2 different groups of 2 different pairs. I think it's Tuesdays and Thursdays. It just changed. Formation Save is also a good place in where if you want specifically formation help, which is kind of the core of this game. Sean and Taylor are 2 of the people who are involved in it. Mars is also involved in it. And Sean and Taylor are the support people. They answer all the support tickets. They help with bug reports and fixing issues that come up. And so they are incredibly knowledgeable about the game. And the cool thing is you can message them and say, hey, I am working on this, help. And they will pull your game instance. And nothing will go wrong with you, but literally I could message them and say, hey, I'm trying to finish Monarch Among Us, specifically the Strahd variant of Monarch Among Us in the Wild Beyond the Witchlight. And they could go in and pull out exactly what you see here, my champions in my formation with whatever I got going on. And then they can play around with it and say, oh, well, if you move this champion over here, it's going to do this. If you move this champion over here, it's going to do this. So you can learn a lot from the 2 of them about formations, and it will be directly applicable to the champions you specifically have unlocked and like the favor you have for a specific campaign. Like that's going to help a lot. So if you watch Formation Save live, if you can, because everybody's got 3 billion things going on, that's a really good thing. Just submit one of your formations, see what they have to say. I learn things every time I watch, and I've been playing this game for almost 5 years. And then finally, I'm not going to drink because I'm actually out of drink. I do recommend coming to our Discord. There is specifically a new player channel where you can ask new questions, but honestly, you can be anywhere in the channel that they're talking about Idle Champions and ask any question. Don't feel bad about asking new questions. We were all new players at once. We all understand how daunting it can be when you're trying to figure out what to do next and where to go. So yeah, come to that channel, come to the new player channel, and let them know. Here's what I got. Here's what I'm trying to do. Any suggestions? Those will be my top suggestions. After all of that, the other good place to go, if you're into reading, you can go to the subreddit for Idle Champions, because there are a whole bunch of guides there. And specifically, Garwar has really good guides. Garwar does 2 shows on our channel, one on Fridays, one on Saturdays. The Friday one is kind of a big Q&A, and also kind of looking at whatever is going on right there in the game. And Saturday is always focused on a specific thing. Garwar show is a good one to go to, but more importantly, Garwar has a bunch of guides out that will be like Garwar's guide to this, Garwar's guide to that, because the reality and the joke is Garwar's got a guide for everything. That was a very extensive answer to a very good question. I hope I didn't scare you away. I hope I encouraged you, if in whatever way you find comfortable, to find help. And I will answer this last question before I have to go, because we are almost out of time. Billzlowski002 wants to know, is there a show on tonight? On this channel, no, because A Familiar Quest is on hiatus. So, for the moment, unlike the rest of the week, I'm in on Mondays. That's right, you're stuck with just me. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me on this amazing Monday. Thank you, chat, for all of your lovely help. Thank you to everybody who helped me figure out what a Magic the Gathering or Kira deck would be, and now I have to go look at a whole bunch of Phoenix cards out of Magic the Gathering, and I am excited. Thank you to Mars for helping with all of the questions that came on in, for running the polls, and for in general being awesome. Thank you to all the new people who came and listened to me ramble on and talk about the Discord a lot and drink and run out of things to drink. I gotta refill that. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us all, and we'll see you next encounter.